On this episode of 4K Skywatching, I capture what looks like a metallic looking disc, or the Mexico City hockey puck has returned, all captured on the dome system. I skywatch all the time, so you don't have to. Activity picked up about 2 weeks ago when I was scanning the clouds and I noticed that there's something maybe above the clouds or just under the clouds cruising around 2-3 miles away from me. This might be hard to see on your phone, but there's some small object traveling just below the clouds, and I picked this up and panned with it for as long as possible. The worst thing about this dome camera is I cannot set the focus to infinity, so it's little objects like this, it's the sensor's always kind of scanning, looking for them, and sometimes if you have clouds, it will lock onto the clouds and keep it in focus. This is not a good zoom. I think it's only about 12x, so this camera is really good for finding objects, but it can't always resolve exactly what it was because the zoom power is limited. This object proceeds on a straight line. We're going to be seeing anywhere between 6 to 8 objects throughout this video clip. What happened here is we cut to about 10 days later, and I'm showing you a plane flying by. This is for reference. Now if you look up at the top of the screen where it says 144, just after that plane went by, another white object comes cruising down right around where that plane was. And I noticed that there are patterns to UAP activity. There's never just one. One will be there, and then something will fly by fast. And this happens all the time. I think what's going on is some boring objects there, and then another one cruises by, and often skywatchers make the mistake and they go for the fast, exciting object. And when you do, that thing will lose you, and then you go back and say, well, let's try and get the original object, and you can't find it. It's gone. The video clip we're watching right now, I wasn't watching the camera at the time. I had the monitor on, and I skywatch throughout the day, and if I look up and see something, I'll grab the controls and pan with it. All these objects look about the same, but they all fly a little bit differently. So we're going to move from that to the next object, which is going to come out of the right side of the screen and travel to the left. It's at the bottom. And this one's about the same size as the last one, but it has different characteristics. This one looks like it's flapping. It looks like this could be a bird, but we don't have seagulls and white birds in Arizona. Another object, much faster, is coming in from the left and it's going to pass by. This is when I noticed, hey, something's going on. And I looked up the monitor and grabbed the controls and panned up. I'm looking up and I'm thinking, okay, this thing's going to go up into that cloud. Let's zoom in and get set up. Around this time, it went nuts. It's very, very boring throughout the day. There's nothing to watch. And then when activity starts, man, does it start. There's stuff right now flying all over the place. The disc-looking thing that was in the beginning of the video, that's now to be seen to the left of the screen, and it's heading towards the clouds. I was thinking that original object was going to shoot out of the top of the clouds, and then I start noticing, well, there's several objects here, and if you look at the screen, they're all over the place. There's one up above the clouds. There's one over there. There's the really strange hockey puck looking thing. I haven't seen these hockey pucks for 20 years. I used to film these daily until 1990, from 95 to 97. Never seen them since. Not pucks. This is the first time I've seen these hockey pucks. And the hockey pucks look different than the other ones. If you look now, it looks kind of like a disc with a little dome on it. Later in the video, we'll be slowing this down and blowing this up. I panned up and I'm looking for that other object. Something else is shooting up there that wasn't it. And then I panned down. I should have just stayed on. I'm watching the playback and I'm just kicking myself in the ass why I stayed off that object and moved around. I should have just locked onto it. And what the hell am I doing here, Tom? Stay on the hockey puck. There's another object going by. These things are everywhere now, all over the place. And there's planes flying by. Now here goes this hockey puck. There's another black thing going up in the clouds. I don't know what that is. I wish I ran outside with my P1000 and zoomed in on this thing. That object is moving, I'd say, about 20 miles an hour. A lot of people were familiar with the Nimitz case in 2004. There was a aircraft or a radar guy named Kevin. What the hell are you doing, Tom? I think his name was Kevin Davis, and he said he was tracking these things dropping down from 80,000 feet to 28,000 feet in half a second. And then he said they were only traveling at 40 knots. 40 knots is so slow engines would stall in normal aircraft. It's extremely slow, and it's like what you see here. He said they'd be up there all day moving real slow, and then sometimes they'd take off and they'd track them going real fast. So these objects are hanging out above what you could see with your naked eye. The UAPs don't seem to come down low like they used to 20 years ago, but they're still up there. They're still up there to be found. So this is still that dish-shaped one. Later I'll do a little bit of computer analysis on it in this video. I tried to track this thing with Adobe After Effects and lock it down and take out the camera movement and lock on that, but I've just had a hell of a problem with it because it's just pulsing in and out of focus. So if any viewers out there want to download the video and take a stab at it, go for it. But all these objects look about the same, except for this puck. This one looks different than the other white phosphorus ones. But they all fly different. Some of them fly like bumblebees, some of them fly like balloons, some of them fly like birds, some of them fly like UFOs, and they're all kind of one and the same. Another object's coming down from the top. So I'm like, I got two objects. So this is like, back in the day, I said, hey, it's Hockey Puck City up there. They're all over the place in the sky. And for a brief moment like this, for 10 minutes, it seems everywhere I pan the camera, I'm picking stuff up. And it's strange. And then it just all disappears, and it goes back to normal. And there's nothing there. And then you got to go hunt these things for months and months and months to find, activity. There's a number of small objects up there that we can't resolve with this camera. I might have lost the puck and got sidetracked on another object here. It's getting hot to Skywatch. I have a new camera rig. I got a thermal camera, a P900, a P1000, and a Panasonic GH5S on the camera platform. And if I had that outside, I'd have 125x on this plus thermal. All right, we're jumping to the slow motion zoom in of that original hockey puck. So here's that video. And the hockey puck is distinctive because it has this black line under it. And this is the first time I've recorded one in high def. Before I got them in VHS, and it would have that black rim under it that you see right here. And that was distinctive of that certain type of model. If you look, it almost looks like it's a silver saucer type shape. It doesn't behave like balloons, doesn't look like balloons, but it's moving slow like one. But like Kevin Davis said, these things, they could fly slow, they could fly fast. They just seem to just blend in and mimic. And I wonder what these things are, if we'll ever figure this out. Where is that coming from? Where is that going to? And more and more pilots are reporting this. And now it's not taboo like it was when I started. When I started, you get fired over stuff like this. Now it's, I guess, become almost cool. This is a very interesting object. I haven't run into this dome type stuff. I have seen these through the binoculars, and this is what they look like. It looks like a silvery metallic object with a small dome on the top of it. So if you like this stuff, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, because there's more to come from me. I Skywatch, so you don't have to. Thanks for watching.